I would like to smoke exactly as much marijuana as is medically necessary this year. Hello friends, welcome or welcome back, and welcome to 2021. Welcome to me remembering at the beginning of the video to ask you to please subscribe, because this year we are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully it happens. We're in a brand new year, and it is starting in chaos. So the good news is that we know we're kind of in a routine now for this pandemic. We kind of know not necessarily what to expect, but we should know the drill by now. So that's good. We're going into this year knowing that there's a pandemic rather than going into this year with shiny hopes and dreams like we did last year. But speaking of shiny hopes and dreams, I have goals for this year. I'm keeping them reasonable, and I'm not usually a New Year's resolution person, but I think I say that every year and then make resolutions anyway, so how many years in a row can you say I'm not really a resolution person? So I have goals for my online shop, which you can find at posttraumaticvictory.com. I'm opening the shop today as I'm recording this. The link will be in the description. I sell gear for service dogs and pets, and the proceeds from the sales of the gear for service dogs and pets go towards the Buddy System, which is a small-time handler assistance program that I have started up to kind of honor the life of a beloved family dog named Buddy. He's alive as I'm recording this. He is very medically ill, but you wouldn't really know it. He's continuing to live his best life, and I love that for him. So if you'd like to contribute to the Buddy System, you can fill out the order form on my website and just select donate for the item that you would like to purchase. Unless you want to actually buy something, that's also completely on the table. I'm really bad at this. I didn't go to business school. I went to makeup school. A goal that I have for the shop is to be able to assist at least one buddy per month. So that means I want to donate at least one piece of equipment per month to a handler who needs it, but doesn't necessarily have the funding to back them. If you are not aware, it's extremely expensive to gear up your service dog because you have to get a vest, you have to get a leash. Sometimes, depending on your disability, a hands-free leash is more beneficial, but those cost a lot of money, and custom gear to begin with costs so much money. So I want to alleviate some of the financial stress on a person with a disability who is trying to suit up their sidekick, you know? Goals at work. If you are new around here and did not know, I work in retail, which I have goals for myself in the workplace. The first one is to vocalize less, to escape from intrusive thoughts, I guess is the best way to put it. I will vocalize. I'll start singing whatever song is playing on the radio. I'll start talking to myself. Like, I want to vocalize less. I want to keep things inside, you know, instead of outside. A good way of putting it is I'm searching for other coping techniques in the workplace because I worry that I'm the most annoying person in the whole world. And nobody has said this, it's something I'm working on. I'm 30. I'd like people not to be completely blown away when I tell them that. Find things I can focus on in my job or in my head that will not cause my anxiety to spike. I will start to spiral and get, stuck in a bad headspace. I'm gonna try to kind of work on my side hustle while I'm at work. Do it in my head. Think of video ideas. Think of fun leash designs. I don't know. Think about working on anxiety is basically a short way of explaining that. And last, but certainly not least, actually most important and actually most relevant to my job, is gain confidence in my ability to perform every task that I am friggin' required to perform. Because the truth is, I don't have a hard job. It's just for some reason there's a couple of things that it's It's a mental roadblock, and I'd like to push past that this year. That's a reasonable goal, I would say. Goals with Sadie are to sharpen her skills, which means I'm just gonna start doing training drills with her again this year. I really did not do that too much in the second half of 2020. Pandemic life. Forgive yourself if you did the same thing, because you know what? My dog is happy. I am happy. We'll figure it out. It's not a race. If the pandemic does end this year, I want to train up for the public access test to finally get our government-issued ID card to say that we're a legit, qualified, trained service dog team. If you are not aware, I'm Canadian, and I currently live in the province of Alberta. Send me thoughts and prayers, please, where I live in Alberta, Canada. You're protected under the Human Rights Act if you're training in a public space. However, a business is allowed to kick you out if they want to. Like, if they want to be an asshole, they're allowed to. Normally people are just like, oh, you're training a service dog? Sick. Amazing. Come on in. Unless your animal is acting up and is not under control, they're allowed to tell you, hey, sorry, please leave. Just as a side note, if you're watching from the United States of America, I send you my thoughts and prayers. And also, if you go on a website and they try to sell you an ID card, it's not real, and it is a scam, because it is the training that makes a service dog, not a thing you can buy for 20 bucks on the internet. Anyway, that's a whole other thing, but I wanted to throw that in there because a lot of people, when they're first starting out, fall victim to that, and then they're like, oh, I have this thing that looks official, but it does nothing. If the pandemic doesn't end this year, I'm going to try to sharpen Sadie's skills by using every walk as an opportunity to train, which I kind of already do, but, you know, I'd like to do that more this year. And I plan to work her as often as possible, because I think she really misses working. She gets really excited when we go to the grocery store. It's nice. And by gets really excited, I mean reasonably, like service dog excited. Like in the car, she's stoked, and then in the store, she's like, I'm doing a job, baby. Really, the training is for both of us, because the fact of the matter is, my dog is smarter than me. All she needs from me is to know what the hell I'm talking about and what the frick I want from her. So, the least I can do to pay her back for all she does for me is to get my crap together this year. Oh, another goal. Speaking of all this weird language, I'm trying to say the F word and the S word less. My YouTube goals are to reach 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't yet, please click subscribe, and you can turn on video notifications as well by clicking the bell and then selecting all or whatever. And thank you so much. I don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm really bad at asking people for things. So pipe dream though is 20,000 subscribers, which would be amazing. Honestly, my goal for this channel is to help out people who have the same condition as me, or who are looking into this condition for whatever reason, researching for the medical science, and also, you know, mental health awareness. Stigma surrounding mental health caused my mother to die because she was extremely mentally ill, and it went unaddressed her whole life, and that led to other things going unaddressed until it was a little bit too late. I'd like fewer people to suffer in that way. It ends with me, and I'm gonna talk about my mental health, or lack thereof. Personal goals for this year. So this kind of ties into what I talked about with my work goals. I would like to work on stepping it back with the hypervigilance and the intrusive thoughts and the negative self-talk, which is an intrusive thought. It's hard to explain. This is just my goals, okay? We can talk about all of this throughout the rest of the year. I would like to smoke exactly as much marijuana as is medically necessary this year. I'm not saying that that's not something I did in 2020. That's just also a thing I want to do this year. I'd like to consume less sugar. Not no sugar, not way less sugar, just less. And finally, financial goals. I'd like to have something in my savings account at all times and build up an emergency fund. Currently, what that looks like is maybe putting $10 in every paycheck. That's enough. That's a contribution, baby. And I currently have $10.30 in my savings account. So, you know what? This month make it 20. And I'd like to start paying back my student loans again because I have to, because they're mad at me. So subscribe. Do you have any goals for yourself for 2021? If your only goal is surviving, that is a reasonable goal given, 2020 was a wild ride from start to finish. And 2021, who knows what's gonna happen? But you know what? We're doing it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, please remember to subscribe on your way out. Please come back in again. Thank you so much to my patrons over on Patreon for your constant support. It is because of you that I'm able to do any of this. Thank you so much. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and others today, and I will see you very soon. Next week, to be exact, because I have a content schedule now, baby.